So it could be, remember, I never check the day before's homework. So when I say tomorrow's a homework check, you can rest assured that A25 won't be part of it, okay? I always give you time. But A24 could be, or 23, or 22, and so on, okay? I'm sorry? Tomorrow, okay? I'm just letting you know that I never check the day befores. Maybe even 2 days before I won't, okay? So what we're doing now, it will probably help. There were a bunch of you that weren't in here, I think because of testing or whatever your reason was for not being here. This is basically what we did yesterday. We graphed 2 equations. Now we're graphing 3. And remember we did the shading stuff yesterday? So let's go over what the shading part is and the dotted versus solid, if you remember, okay? So what we learned yesterday is anytime you have these types of symbols without the equal to, we use like a dotted or dashed line. And if it has the equal to sign under it, remember, we use the solid line. Okay, so when we graph our slope and our y-intercept, we connect those and then we decide, is it going to be dotted like this one or is it going to be solid like this one? Okay, and we'll see that again in a second. So just like yesterday. And then also don't forget if it's a less than or a less than or equal to, we shade where? Above or below? Below. Think about less than, lower, below, okay? And then greater than or equal to, we shade above, okay? And what makes them tricky, although you guys did a really good job with it yesterday, I thought you guys would struggle with it way more than you did. I didn't mean that as an insult. I mean, I thought it was going to be kind of tricky, but you guys did really great with it, is knowing where they have that in common, right? You graphed 2 lines yesterday, and you had to figure out where we're below this one and above that one, and we talked about how to do that. And today, it's going to be 3 of them, 3 graphs that we have to figure out where the shaded region is, okay? And then that's the last thing on this test. So let's start by looking at the 3 lines that we have. First one is already in slope-intercept form. Yay. If it helps you to write the M and the B, go right ahead, but I don't require that. I like to write it, and I'm really good at graphing, okay? I just like to organize the information. We also know it's going to be dotted, right? It's going to be a dotted line because of the less than, and we're going to shade below, okay? So that's our first one because it's less than. Remember these? Yeah. Okay. This second one is already in slope-intercept form. Yay. We can identify M is 1, and we can make it a fraction by just putting a 1 under it, right? If you don't see a number in front of an X, it's a 1. Our y-intercept is -2. So this one would be solid, Paris, because see the solid line here? That's an indicator. It's going to be a solid line when we connect them. And it's greater than, so we shade above. Okay? And lastly, what the heck is this? There's only 1 letter. This, let me help you understand a little trick in knowing that it's high. And this is, I don't know if it's good. All right, and this is whenever you have just 1 letter. So it could be X is greater than 1. I'll just put Y is greater than 1 over here. Not part of the problem, just to talk about it. When there's 1 letter, it's either going to be vertical or horizontal, okay? And the way you can tell, if this is just a memory trick for me, is the top part of an X makes a V, right? It looks like a V. An X is 2 V's. Think of it like that. This is a vertical line, okay? Y is the other one, which is a horizontal. But I also look at a Y, and if you stand on your head, like if you do a handstand and tilt your head, it's kind of like an H. Try it. Can you try it? I was trying to be funny. Can you like smile? You don't have to stand on your head. But it looks like an upside down H, kind of, right? Like a fancy upside down H. This is a horizontal line. If you remember, yesterday you had a graph like this, and some of you asked me about it. That's 2 letters. That's a slope and a y-intercept, right? That's a 0 for your B, and a 1 in front would be your slope 1 over 1, okay? So if there's both letters in it, it's going to have a slope and a y-intercept. If it's just 1 letter, it's either vertical or horizontal, okay? And so we are going to make a dotted line for that, right? Dotted. And when you do a vertical line, it's really right or left. And you'll see this in a second. So think about on the number line, when you want to go to the greater than on the x-axis, think about it. So you have x equals 1. We're going to graph it in a second. It goes like this. The numbers that are greater than 1, are they to the right or are they to the left? To the right. So we really shade to the right on those instead of above or below. And you'll see what I mean. Okay? So that's just kind of summarizing the information. And I wrote that next to my key for all of those. I don't think your TV is loud enough, Mr. Fidelich. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right, so let's sketch this, all right? And I do like to use different colors. I think that helps you. You're not using different colors, so it can get a little confusing. I don't know if you have a pencil and a pen or if you have some colored pencils or something else. But if you do, it does make it easier. Otherwise, you kind of have to really organize it. So in your brain. All right, so let's start. I'm going to do this one in purple, okay? So remember, when you graph slope-intercept form, you always graph the B first. B is your y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The first point always goes on the y-axis, not the x-axis, okay? And then we have a negative slope. Remember, when you have a negative slope, your line falls left to right. So I can either go up and to the left if it gets me off the graph. I don't want to go that way. Or down and to the right. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Maybe I'll do another one because I don't know what the other graphs look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I just put a few of those on there. And I'm going to have a dotted line. And remember I said yesterday, you're going to forget. We all do. I do all the time. If you forget and accidentally connect them with a solid line, remember, just write me a little note. Dotted, put an arrow towards it that you meant to make it dotted. Okay? So, dotted line through your points, arrows on both ends. Okay? So, let's go to the next one. I'll do it in green. Graph my B first, right? B is -2. First point goes on the y-axis at -2. And this is a positive slope, right? 1 over 1. It's a positive line. The slope is going to rise left to right. The graph rises left to right. So I can either go up 1, right 1. I can do some down 1, left 1s. As long as I'm getting my points rising left to right, you can go both ways. This one would be a solid line, okay? Now, for those of you that weren't here yesterday, this is where what we would have had yesterday. We just had 2 lines. So let's just talk about what is going on so far. My first graph, which is purple, that hits at 5, is a shade below. So I want a shade below that graph. But I also want to only include the green line's answer, which is above. The green line is shading above. So yesterday we said, where are we below this graph and above this graph? And you guys can see, I think, that it's in this area right here, right? That's what we did yesterday, but don't do it yet because we're not done. We have one last one to put on there. So vertical line, this is the only time your first point would go on the x-axis because it's a vertical line. X is 1. There's no slope or anything. It goes right there in vertical, up and down, okay? We said it was dotted. And we already said we want to go to the right of that one. So you have to put all those pieces together. Below the purple, above the green, to the right of the red. Where is that? Because it's greater than. X is greater than 1. So here's X is 1, right? This is my vertical line. Where are the numbers that are greater than 1? To the right. Vertical lines are the weird one, okay? When it's horizontal, you would still say above or below. But vertical, you can't really go above or below a vertical line. It's either right or left, okay? So does anybody see where that area is, Shane? That middle triangle, that's right. Oh, I don't want to waste all that. So it's in here. It's below the purple, above the green, to the right of the red. Which makes it easy when you have 3 colors, right? But you can also keep in mind, okay, this is the 5. That was the first one. The -2, that's this one. You can kind of look at your y-intercepts to help you if you're not using different colors. So that means any ordered pair in that colored in area is the solution to all three equations. It would make the left side and the right side make that happen, okay? So what I want you guys to do is find your page 109, and I'm going to do 7, 8, and 9 with you. I'm going to pass out some graph paper right now. I'm going to give you one, but if you need more, all you have to do is ask. Happy to give you more, okay? And tape. I can have tape and band-aids too. It's a weird thing, but I have a lot. Calculator? No. Right? Okay, number 7. You find it? You find it? You find it? Oops, that's not it. Use whichever one makes you happy. You can use whatever one makes you happy. Okay, so all right, guys. So it's up to you if you want to recopy the problems on your graph paper or not. I'm going to. It's completely up to you. But my advice is to, whether you do it on your graph paper or on the book, you organize your information. So let's kind of go through that quickly. So I'll just kind of color code this. In this first equation, it's already in slope-intercept form. Slope is -3. Y-intercept is 7. This is optional, okay? I'm not grading you on whether you have this stuff, but it helps. We would have solid, right? Shade where? Above. Okay? Paris, you need to be ready. Pay attention. Slope of, 1/2, right? What's our B value? 0. Nothing means 0 in math, right? Not there, 0. So there is no plus or minus anything. This would be dotted shade, shade above. Right? Quick, is Y a vertical or horizontal? Horizontal. It looks like an H, kind of. Can you guys kind of see the H? No, for real? For real? This is an H. That kind of looks like an upside down H. Are you just messing with me? I'm trying to help you remember it. I would get 100 on this test. I'm just trying to help you out. Okay. All right. All right, so this is a horizontal line. Got to be careful how you abbreviate that. Dotted. Shade where? It's horizontal. Below. Yes. Okay. All right, let's sketch this graph. And again, if you need more graph paper, like I said, I got you. Got lots of it. All right, so I'll do that first one in green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why did I do that? B is 7, way up here. And it's a negative slope. Let's not mess up on our slopes anymore. It's got to be this or this. It's one or the other, right? Negative is falling. So we can go down 3, right 1. I'm going to do a whole bunch so I cover a lot of the graph here. Doesn't take a lot of time. You're counting. Down 3, right 1, down 3, right 1. Solid, And if we were done, we would shade above it, right? It'd be over here. This is above, over here, okay? Moving on, B is 0, right here. Positive slope. Up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2. I got enough points there. I can totally see what's happening. Dotted. I would shade above this one too, so just kind of maybe stop and look. Above the green, above the purple, if I were done, it'd be in this area right here. Okay, but I have one more line to put on there. That is a horizontal line at 2. So on the y-axis at 2, I make a horizontal line. And I want below that graph. So I want, what do I want? So let me count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, I was checking my graph. So I want to be, but I want to be above this green. I want to be above the green. Yeah, above the green. Something wrong with my graph and I can't figure out what it is. It can't be here. What did I do wrong? I know there's something I did wrong. I know. I wanted to see if you knew. Hopefully you counted to 2, unlike your teacher. 2 is there. That's 3. So go to 2, mine's wet, and color in the middle. It does end up being this little area right here, okay? If you graphed it properly. I will do number 8 properly. No guarantees. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So if I could be at 2, it would have made a nice little triangle. So if you graphed all of it right, unlike me with that red line, you should have been with that little triangle like Shane tried to tell me. Okay, number 8, let's try this one. X is greater than -3, y is less than -1/3 x, and y is greater than, guys, okay, so we got x is a what? Just one letter, we know it's a vertical. So this is a vertical line. Dotted. So we'll go to x is -3, and it's going to be greater than. So greater than on a vertical line is to the right. And I'm just going to quickly pull out the M and the B, right? M and B. Dotted below, right? Less than, yeah. Oh, so sorry, yeah. And then a slope of 1/1, right? That's 1/1. B of -1, dotted above. Okay? If you're right big like me, you probably already need more graph paper by the time you get to the 4th problem, so I will have it available to you. Okay, so let's take these one by one. Vertical line at x is -3. So on my x-axis, go to 1, 2, 3, and make a dotted line. Okay? If I were just graphing that, I'd shade to the right, greater than. Okay? But we're going to wait to shade till the end. On the next one, our y-intercept is 3. And then it's a negative slope. So I can go down 1 right 3, up 1 left 3, or both. and that would be dotted as well. And I would shade below this one. So right now, I kind of visually see where I am so far. To the right of the green, below the red. So if this was yesterday, we would be done, and we'd shade right in here, right? But we have one more graph. Why did I do the colors in the wrong, whatever. B is -1, and then positive slope again should go like this. Up one, right one, up one, right one, up one, right one. So this one is in purple, actually. This one is in green. Okay, and so this would be, let's give a couple more lines. Yeah. You don't have to write any of this stuff. Nope. I said that's optional. It helps some people. So colors, look at these. Green, purple, red. Look over here. Yeah, still. I'm off my game today, Dylan. I don't know. All right. Shh, and it's above this one. So listen, listen, listen. We want to be to the right of the horizontal line, vertical line, below the red, above that. So again, it's in that little triangle. All right, I'm going to do 9 with you. If you feel like you don't need all my help, keep going. I don't care. But I am going to do number 9. And that's number 8. We're on number 9 right now. Okay, so maybe we can save ourselves a little work and not pull out the M and the B this time and just talk about the shading and dotted and stuff. So this is number 9. Let me try to copy the right. -1/2. Okay, so M and B, they're all in slope-intercept form. There's no vertical, no horizontal. They're all M's and B's. So this one would be dotted, shade below, right? I'll try and stick with my colors, Dylan. This one would be dotted as well, shade above, yeah, because it's greater than, greater, above. And then the last one would be dotted below, okay? And again, you do not have to write all that. I do it to help in case you need it. Oh my gosh, no problem. All right, so red is the first one. B is 3. My first point goes on the y-axis, which is right here. 1, 2, 3. And then a negative slope like this. Down 1, right 2, up 1, left 2. Okay? And these are all going to be dotted. But remember, if you forget, you can just write me a little note. Dotted, put an arrow to it. You don't need to white it out or get a new piece of graph paper or anything. Okay? So our first one's done, shading below that one, but we wait till the end. B is 1, y-intercept of 1, positive slope, so it goes the other way. Rising left to right. So up 1, right 2, up 1, right 2, and so on. Get a couple going the other way. Dotted. Below the red, above the blue, it would be over here, right? In this little area. Ignore that black line right there. Okay, and the last one, B is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we want a positive slope, rising, but I'm not going to go up. I'm going to go down 3, left 1. And that would be 1, dotted again. Say it again. You could, but it just takes it way off the graph. I could go up 3, right 1, right? It's just going to put it, up there. So, sometimes I go in both directions. So because this point was here, my B was there. I wanted to get some over there and some over there. So I went up and to the left, down and to the right. It just depends. Okay, so we want to be below the red, okay? We want to be above the blue and below the green. Yeah, right now. Guys, it's not always going to be in the triangle. So don't just think that it will. A lot of it seems that it happens, but don't think that it always happens, okay? Now, I'm going to put 10, 11, and 12 up in a minute. I'm going to offer you guys more graph paper because you probably need it. I will move it up in a minute. Right here, Paris.
Number 10 from?
7 through 12 is the assignment. I just did 7, 8, 9 with you. 10, 11, 12 are done beautifully, I will tell you. Color-coded correctly. I will move it up, yeah. I will move it up in a second.